live the EFF, long live. Long live the EFF, long live. Amandla. Hawe 2. Thank you very much, National Chairperson of the EFF, Commisar Veronica Mente. To the President and the Commander-in-Chief, esteemed officials of the EFF, members of the Central Command Team, Provincial Command Team members that are here, the regional command teams from across the country, delegates that are representing branches from all provinces, and our honored guests, including fighters from EFF structures across the African continent and the diaspora, observers to the assembly, staff compliments of the EFF and public representatives. Receive our revolutionary greetings in the name of economic freedom in our lifetime in a united Gauteng. It is with great pride and revolutionary conviction that we welcome you to this historic third National People's Assembly that is themed to defend, rebuild, and consolidate the struggle for economic freedom. The third NPA is held here at the Johannesburg Expo Center in Nazareth, in Soweto. Soweto is a historic site that is foundational to the EFF's identity as a revolutionary economic emancipation movement of our people. So we welcome you in Soweto, where the umbilical cord of the EFF remains buried, Commander-in-Chief. This assembly marks a defining moment in our collective journey towards the realization of economic freedom in our lifetime. Gauteng, as a host province, is a land rich in both history and potential, a province whose name in the Sotho-Tswana languages means the place of gold. Yet it is also a place that embodies the stark contradiction of South Africa, which is immense wealth alongside profound inequality. Commissars and fighters, we welcome you to Gauteng, which remains the smallest province by land size, covering just over 18,000 square meters and only 1.5% of South Africa's total land area. However, it remains the largest by population, home to over 15 million people, which constitutes 25% of the nation's population. This province is the heart of South Africa's economy, employing over 5.1 million workers, nearly double the number employed in any other province. Despite its economic significance, Gauteng remains a battleground of challenges, which are high unemployment, widespread poverty, a deteriorating industrial base, and deepening social inequalities. Fighters, we welcome you to Gauteng, a province that reflects the broader crisis that is facing our nation where you all come from. Here, more than 3 million people remain unemployed, forced into living in poverty, living with crime, and living in violent-ridden communities. Gauteng also has the highest level of crime in the country, accounting for 50% of all car hijackings, 36% of all common robberies, 24% of all murders, and 20% of all rape cases in the country. The housing crisis in this province, Comrade President, is equally alarming. Over 1.3 million people remain on the housing backlog list, waiting for promises made decades ago to be fulfilled. Projects such as the Mantros mega project in the West Rand and others in Ekurhuleni remain incomplete after more than 8 years. In Alex, as you had exposed Ramapalala, residents are still waiting for the million houses they were promised. A betrayal that underscores the failure of the current government to deliver basic human dignity for our people here in Gauteng. Adding to these challenges, Comrade President, is the looming water crisis that you identified at our manifesto launch. Gauteng is on the brink of day zero as water and sanitation infrastructure crumbles due to the years of neglect and mismanagement. Instead of addressing these issues, the ruling party seeks to shift the blame onto the people of Gauteng. You must remain alert to these realities as they affect all of us in one way or the other. Today, we can't even gather without having mobile toilets because we don't know if we'll have water in the next day or not. Gauteng was once the industrial hub of South Africa, home to thriving sectors such as steel, metalworks, textiles, and manufacturing. Today, many of these industries have collapsed, leaving behind empty factories and shattered communities. Germiston, Boksburg, Benoni, Vanderbijl Park, and Vereeniging have become symbols of deindustrialization and economic decline, thanks to the political and ideological deficiencies and corruption of the former liberation movement. Yet within this crisis lies an opportunity for transformation. Gauteng's economic potential remains vast, and it lies on the EFF coming into government. With the highest concentration of universities and TVET colleges in the country, this province uniquely is positioned to drive state-led industrialization. By linking research and development with state-owned enterprises, we can rebuild Gauteng as the economic engine of South Africa. Despite these grave challenges, Gauteng remains a strategic site of contestation. It is here that the EFF has demonstrated its capacity to govern and deliver services to our people. Our 154 councillors, Comrade President, across the province, along with 16 members of the mayoral committees, 1 council chief whip, and 2 speakers of council, are actively challenging the status quo, exercising oversight, and implementing the policies of the economic emancipation movement. The EFF's impact in Gauteng is undeniable. We have live branches in all the wards and voting districts, and more than 32% of all votes of the EFF in South Africa come from this province. Our efforts have significantly reduced the dominance of the former liberation movement, which now commands only 34.76% of the electoral support in Gauteng. The EFF here also has 11 members of the provincial legislature who are active on the ground and are holding the executive accountable. Through our elected representatives, we have begun to lay the groundwork for the radical transformation of society. It is well known that in just few weeks of governance in the city of Tshwane, we managed to standardize service delivery, particularly in the health department and in the collection of waste in our townships. The Department of Water Sanitation in the city of Ekurhuleni, under the EFF, Comrade President, is one of the highest ranked in terms of providing clean, drinkable water and proper sanitation amidst all the challenges. In the city of Johannesburg, recent crime statistics that they will never talk about indicate that Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department, which is known as the JMPD, led by the EFF, is making significant progress in the fight against crime, particularly in the CBD. Public health services under our leadership have also seen tangible improvements. Whether we're in Tshwane, in Ekurhuleni, in Johannesburg, or the West Rand District Municipality, the EFF is no longer just a government in waiting. We are government in action. Gauteng is indeed the home of the EFF. Commissars and fighters, we highlight just these realities to demonstrate to our doubters that the economic freedom fighters has built a solid foundation over the past 11 years. We have consolidated our ground and fashioned ourselves as a weapon in the hands of the oppressed. A single electorate outcome can never define the EFF, particularly here, nor the destiny of the working class in this country. Comrade President and comrades, we gather here today to not just as members of the EFF, but as custodians of a revolutionary mission. This assembly provides us an opportunity to reflect on a journey to reaffirm our unity and chart a clear way forward. As Vladimir Lenin reminds us, I quote, "The strength of the working class lies in organization. Without organization of the masses, the proletariat is nothing. Organized is everything," unquote. Unity is the foundation of our movement. Without it, we cannot achieve the radical transformation that South Africa so desperately needs. However, we must acknowledge that the EFF has faced challenges both from within and without. The recent departure of some leaders who prioritized selfish ambition over the collective liberation of our people served as a reminder of the obstacles we face and continue to face in our revolutionary journey. We say this because some of them even come from this province. Let us remind you, let us also remember that the betrayal is not the end of the revolution. It is the test of the resilience, the perseverance, and the resolve of the revolution. This assembly provides us with an opportunity to recalibrate and correct past mistakes that happened even here in this particular venue, Comrade President, to guard against opportunistic and disloyal tendencies and to elevate hard work, humility, and loyalty. Chairman Mao aptly warned us of the dangers of liberalism when he said, and I quote, "To let things slide for the sake of peace and friendship is liberalism. It is to indulge in unprincipled peace, thus harming both the revolution and revolutionary discipline," unquote. We thank the Central Command Team Collective elected at the second NPA, held at this very venue 5 years ago, Comrade President, for the stewardship of this movement under your decisive, under your fearless and exemplary leadership, you, Commander-in-Chief. You have led during a very difficult period where the capitalist establishment spent billions trying to remove the EFF from South Africa's political landscape. Because of your fearlessness, the EFF has survived the onslaught and we are here today. For that, Comrade President, would like to thank you as the people of Gauteng and welcome you. We know that you are no foreigner in Gauteng because you are indeed the #1 ground force of Gauteng. Every program, every meeting, let this assembly be a moment of reflection, renewal, and revolutionary resolve. Let us defend, rebuild, and advance the struggle for economic freedom in our lifetime. So, Felempini, Comrade President, we are here to say to you, welcome to Gauteng, Gusekhaya la, Amandla, away to